running the course and meeting the people and really having this cultural bond with them, it's what also makes running great again. It's beyond a major, it's beyond a pace, it's beyond a PB. It's again a medicine for life.
It's a journey towards yourself.
Towards yourself, absolutely.
In my opinion, you are a polymath. So you are the modern Da Vinci.
What I've seen in the marathon and in Bucharest and the Athenaeum, I can also take
to
it
the
by
school
class.
in your class.
So
yes.
it's all an encyclopedia. The whole world, it's a written book. We just have to open its pages. The more you travel, the more you meet people, you erase automatically all of these prejudices and all of these said, non-said things.
Fixed mindset.
Fixed mindset, exactly. When you combine it with the sports, the combination of both is like, the best, let's say, as we said, the best longevity pill ever. I feel so grateful and so honored that you brought me here in the Romanian Athenaeum. I've seen it yesterday when I arrived in the evening and I was blown away. When I went through my divorce, when I went through my cancer and many other episodes that are very common to our society, it has been a pure healing. The oxygen that I needed and the oxygen that has saved my life.
Good morning, Sonia.
Good morning, Raluca. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Welcome to Romania.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
We are so lucky and honored to have you here in Bucharest and for the Bucharest Marathon, which is going to start tomorrow. And you're going to race in Bucharest
on Sunday.
Great. Yes. This is extraordinary, and welcome to our Runcast. We call it Runcast.
Yes.
This is already the 4th season and the episode number 34. It's by RunInBucharest, which is the organizer of Bucharest Marathon and other big running competitions, and it's powered by Raiffeisen Bank. And usually we are going into a park and we are walking while filming. So the guys here are very happy today that we have you here, so we don't have to walk for the moment. For the moment, yes. But it's a great opportunity for your audience in particular, and for our audience as well, to see the beauties of Bucharest.
Yes, absolutely. And I feel so grateful and so honored that you brought me here in the Romanian Athenaeum. I've seen it yesterday when I arrived in the evening and I was blown away. And now with the sunlight, it's even more beautiful. So
thank you very much. It's one of the most recognizable buildings in Bucharest with a great history. And we wanted to start it here. Let me introduce you to our public. I know that your audience knows a lot about you. You have huge follower base on Instagram. It's more than 600,000. In my opinion, you are a polymath. So you are the modern Da Vinci.
Thank you.
Because I was reading your LinkedIn profile, you have double degrees, bachelor degrees, double master degrees, 2 different areas.
Yes, yes.
You have a PhD in another area.
Yes.
It's nutritional marketing awareness for young people, eating habits. You are also an athlete and triathlete recently, yes? Author. You were named most influential fitness woman of the year by Elite X. And I can't remember all of the list of all education. Congratulations. It's really something. And now coming to Bucharest on your life journey, why did you choose Bucharest and Bucharest Marathon? We are very curious.
So first of all, thank you very much for the introduction. And secondly, when I chose Bucharest, it's because there was something calling me. And as I said many times, I know each city is completely different. It brings value when we talk about culture, about history. We're talking about the Athenaeum. A country is a country, and a landscape is a landscape. But what makes a country great it's people.
People.
So I wanted to come and meet you and see and discover more about the culture, because at the end of the day, as an Italian, when I left Italy when I was 18, we have really a big community of Romanian, and I've always been triggered of one day I want to go and discover more. So when I saw the marathon, I was like, okay, that's the perfect match to go and discover much more and come back with a huge baggage. And I've been here only for a few hours, and I feel like already you've given me so much knowledge, and it's incredible.
So happy to hear that. Thank you very much. And yes, there are many things in common with the Italians, coming with the language. You were hearing us talking into Romanian, and of course you could realize what we are talking about. So you were mentioning that you were born in Italy, in the northern part of Italy. So let's go a little bit back to basics before we coming back to the marathon. So you come from a multicultural family, yes? And you called yourself the black sheep. I don't know why. Why did you call yourself the black sheep?
Well, I call myself the black sheep because it's true that for both my paternal and maternal families, well, you have everything already planned. So you do this, you play piano since you're 3. My mom, she wanted to put me in classical ballet and dance. And then after you should do this and that. And everything was really programmed by hours. Then when I reached around 15, 18, I told them, you know, we have primary school, then we have the middle school, la scuola media, and then we have the high school. And by the end of the middle school, you need to know at the age of 14, 15, what you're going to do. And that's a very difficult and very delicate age. So I said, okay, let's see what my parents are telling me. You need to do to go to the Liceo Classico, the classical high school, to learn Latin and Greek and literature and the basis. And I spent 1 year in the Liceo Classico, and I was like, this is not for me. I mean, I love the Greek culture, and I learned so many things about Iliad and the Odyssea, but I want something different. So I chose the Liceo Linguistico, so languages and literatures. And even there at 17, I knew what I wanted to do, but still not being sure. And of course, like seeing the path of my dad and my mom and my whole family in general, is we start something, like we start studying law to become a lawyer. We start studying medicine to become a doctor. And for me, it was completely the opposite. So even nowadays, they tell me, we are following, but we are not following what you're doing.
You are doing so many things.
Exactly. So, and it's changing and over-changing all the time. And I keep telling them, like, this is the real richness of a curriculum, right? And that comes also being the black sheep, not only in a family, but also in a society and on a professional base. When they look at a curriculum or a story, a professional story, is why you're changing every 2 years or 3 years. When actually I see it and I value it, as few other more people now, as that's a great added value. It's a great added value personally and professionally, because let's say if I've seen something when I was working in fashion and luxury, I can take it back in class. Or what I've seen in the marathon and in Bucharest and the Athenaeum, I can also take it back class.
In your class,
so it's all an encyclopedia. The whole world, it's a written book. We just have to open its pages.
It's so nice, and I feel you. I can't call myself the black sheep of the family, but I relate to you that, you know, I can't choose only one way or one area. And I also enjoy, I think it's more creative. When you are mentioning all these different aspects, you bring creativity from one area to another, and that's really helpful. It reminds me of the book Range by Epstein, if you know. It's How Generalists Will Conquer the World, or Alexi Papas. And because you were talking about different worlds, it's usually said that you cannot belong to two different worlds, and you are belonging at least for academia and for the sports, but you are belonging to business as well. What's your answer when these people are saying, no, you have to have only one way? If they are commenting, what's your answer?
Oh, they say it a lot, even nowadays, and I always reply, if I have only one way, I can be what you are expecting me to be. If I have two ways, I will be your added value.
Wow, that's great. That's the unique selling proposition. It's perfect. Can I borrow it from you?
Of course you can.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's great. It's added value. That's true. And just because you have been living, studying, and racing and traveling
Yes.
in more than 100 countries, is it 104 or more?
105 hit yesterday.
It's Romania.
in
It's
Romania.
105.
Yeah.
Let's imagine that you are the chef and you prepare something and you bring 5 ingredients out of all this experience was 104 countries.
Yeah.
Romania is not yet included because you just arrived. Which would be these 5 key ingredients, like things that you learned, things that you discovered with this extensive traveling across the world?
The first one that I keep saying all the time is nationality, passport holding, borders are just there to be there, geographically speaking. But we are one. We are all interconnected by history, by culture, by food, by language. And even though I'm not speaking the proper language, there's a universal language called love.
So nice.
And when you speak with love, you receive love. So that's the main ingredient that I could taste and I like to see every time I travel. The second one, I would definitely say the open-mindedness. The more you travel, the more you meet people, you erase automatically all of these prejudices and all of these said, non-said things.
Fixed mindset.
Fixed mindset, exactly. So they go away because you've been there, you've talked with the people, you sat down, you know much more. But you go back home with that baggage, and in your real professional life, when you have someone, for example, coming from another country, it's just an example, because you've been there, because you've been talking with them, automatically it would be easy to adapt and not being judgmental.
Yes, and find a better way of communicating and understanding.
Exactly. It opens a lot communication. The third one, I would say, it's the more you travel, the more you feel that you've been in those places. It's a bit spiritual.
Okay.
Sometimes you land in a place and you smell it, you meditate for 1 second or up to 1 minute, and you say, I feel like I've been here. And that's exactly what we are not looking at. Some people, most of the people, they are born in a place, they stay in a place, or they move from the countryside to the city, and they never have this great opportunity, right? They call it opportunity to go out and to learn and see. And that leads me to the fourth one, which is make yourself that opportunity. Because if some people have managed to do it, you can always do it. You can also do it. And we always relate it with the financial side, with the occupational side. But in reality, we can all do it. And that again leads me to the fifth one and last one, which is traveling the world, experiencing, not traveling, experiencing the world is the best medicine ever and the best therapy ever. Because sometimes you land empty and you leave being the most or the richest person ever.
Thank you very much. So I just want to do a short recap. So first and the most important, you mentioned love, yes?
Yes.
You see the world with love and you see the people in the world.
Yes.
The second was open-mindedness.
Yes.
The third was, remind me.
The third one was giving yourself the opportunity.
The opportunity,
in general.
yes.
The fourth one
Bring
was,
it back.
That was the fifth.
That was the fifth, sorry.
The fourth one was meditate with the place you are in. And the fifth one is, if the more you meditate with it, the more it will give you back.
Thank you. That's a full circle.
It is.
It's a full circle. And we will talk about your solo traveling because you also enjoy solo traveling.
A lot.
But we will move now because we were too static, and I think it's time to move.
And it's coldish.
To the park that you were running. I noticed that you just arrived yesterday, and you already were in the park running, and you already knew the Romanian songs. And some people, I was voting in your poll, you were asking where are we, and I thought that, of course, many people recognized Romania, and I was happy for that. But the second choice was not France, was Italy.
Yes.
In the poll.
Yes,
So.
yes, exactly. So I guess some people said, oh, maybe she's in Italy. And
Maybe they thought that you're going back to your place. So let's go to part 2.
Let's go.
Now we are on our normal way of recording, like walking slowly, but not that slowly. And we are in the park that you were running yesterday.
Absolutely. It's a very beautiful park with a lot of good energy. I was really amazed to come here and do my first run in Romania, here in this beautiful park. And you were telling me something very interesting about the name of the park.
Yes, it's Cismigiu Gardens.
Yes.
And I was documenting this for you, that it comes from the Turkish Ottoman name Çeşme, which means fountain. So you see the fountains there on the lake. You see also small ones that you can drink drinkable water in the park.
Yes.
And the good part is the oldest park in Bucharest, in fact. Many famous writers, artists were spending their time here. You could see statues recalling on them. And also on Sunday we are going to run the half marathon.
Here.
We are going to run it through the park.
Wow, I can't wait. Will be there enough space for all the runners?
It will be,
How many runners will we be actually on Sunday?
I know that we are going to be more than 12,000 overall during the 2 days.
Wow.
But I don't know exactly how they are split, because on Saturday we are having the 10K, the popular race 2.5.
Yes.
And then the next day we are going to have the half marathon, full marathon, and the relay. Marathon relay.
Yeah.
So I assume that it's like 50-50 in number of participants.
Might be, yeah.
And the great news is that we are having participants from more than 70 countries.
Yes, I've seen that. I was really amazed when I saw it. Yeah.
So the good news is that all races were sold out.
That's what I've seen and heard, and I was like, wow, that was really fast. But also because I have this feeling, and maybe you will tell me, that the race is becoming more and more international, right?
Yes, that's true. It's becoming more and more international. And Larry was telling me that in terms of number of participants for the marathon, for the full marathon, they had to increase the number which they estimated, because there were 200 more runners, just like in the last couple of months. Weeks, not months. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's becoming more international, and we are very happy for that.
Yeah, and I agree, because like like on the social medias, on the international marathons accounts, and on the calendars, I could see Bucharest Marathon almost everywhere, and I was like happily surprised, and I was like, yes, it must be there, it should be there.
It should be there. You are on the right spot.
Exactly. It was like listed with Chicago Marathon, and I was like, yes.
It's in the same week. Yes. And by the way, our podcast is having 2 hosts. It's me, like the amateur runner, and it's Alex Korneski, which is the professional athlete, and he's running the Chicago Marathon.
Yes.
Fortunately for him, unfortunately that you cannot meet him, we cannot have him. So I have a surprise for you in this case.
Okay.
But let's speak more about running. I love this when I was reading one of your interviews. Let's make running great again. What do you mean by that, and how we could do it great again?
So again, you just mentioned Chicago Marathon, and I have a huge respect for these incredible marathons and the world majors and the ABOTs and all the story, because at the end of the day, it's not only an event, it's a story that you bring to the table, a story that you bring. So you as a runner, you are also part of that story every single year. But running should not be sold as a commodity. It should be gifted as part of your life. You are running with your lungs and your legs and your mind and your soul.
Yes.
And that's not something that can be sold. That's something that has to be acquired.
Oh, so nice.
So when I say let's make running great again, it's in the sense of let's make running available for everyone. Everyone should be able and must be able to lace up the shoes, put a t-shirt, and be able to run, to feel what means running again. So myself and also with some of my business partners, we are in that way, in that ethical way of building something to help runners all over the globe, all over the world, to access the races that have a meaning. Bucharest is one of them for me. Hence I chose it. But all the other ones that I've covered and I've done, running the course and meeting the people and really having this cultural bond with them, it's what also makes running great again. It's beyond a major, it's beyond a pace, it's beyond a PB. It's again a medicine for life.
It's a journey towards yourself.
Towards yourself, absolutely. You know, many people, they say that running a marathon, it's like basically, let's say, an anecdote for your life. No, as you mentioned, it's for yourself. It is. It's a moment where you are really fighting and loving yourself at the same time.
Yes.
You are hating and loving yourself at the same time. And those mental challenges, you realize that they are only in your mind.
That's great, and I can't wait knowing that on Sunday I'm going to run. This time it's the half marathon. In 2 weeks I'm going to ride the full marathon, knowing that I'm going to live 2 hours and something of bliss.
Yes.
I will be with my friends. It will be such an entertaining and rewarding moment for that. And for the full marathon, we use 30 kilometers of legs. Then 10K, we use our mind.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. 2 with your heart, and the last 195 meters, you use your tears.
This is what they say. But to be honest with you, Raluca, I feel that every marathon experience is different. It's true that it's a combination of all these ingredients, these beautiful ingredients, and triggering one as well. But when I think about my full marathon in Copenhagen, the difficult kilometers were not the ones that they usually say. The
not
last
the hit
ones,
walls.
yeah, the last ones were actually a flashback to the most difficult moments in life and the ones that pushed me through even more. Then, of course, I ended up in tears.
Everybody, I think, ends up in tears when you cross the finish line.
Exactly.
I did it.
As you know, it's such an achievement that cannot be explained. And it's so unfortunate that even for some people nowadays, they still see running. We talked about it as a commodity, but as a hobby. It can be a hobby, but it's not only like going to the aqua park, you know, especially if we take into account some new regions of the world or parts of the world where running or sports in general is still seen as, oh, it's a hobby, so not totally part of your daily routine. When actually it's the first medicine for your mental and physical health.
Yes, thank you for saying that. And I will jump to your role as a researcher, and your doctorate is in nutrition, marketing awareness on eating healthy, especially the young generation. So running plus what else helps us fuel endurance and longevity?
Yes, absolutely.
What would you add to this running? When you think how we fuel our body and mind for longevity and for endurance? So,
to be honest with you, running itself is good for our body, is good for our longevity, yet it's not the main activity to help us to, let's say, to the longevity path. I always say it as a professional tennis player who's not a runner.
It's true. You did this when you were a kid, yeah? Or not, later on?
Until the university college level. What is really helping is a mix. So if you are running a lot, do not forget about your strength sessions. Strength sessions are the ones leading you towards the longevity, because you are building a lot of structure in your body, but also a lot of endurance. This is very important. I see a lot even of professional runners that really focus a lot on the sessions, on the tempo, on the speed work, and they do strength workout maybe once a week. It should be completely the opposite. It should be a mix of both. And in that sense, you can build that longevity, yes.
Thank you. I'm seeing ladies in their 70s or even 80s who are looking like 20 years younger, and they all the time mention this combination.
Yes.
And it's really helpful. I notice it that it's easier to run a marathon when you did not train only for running, but you also did the strength. So
absolutely, yeah.
It's good. And you are a co-founder of NutriPathos, which is taking this nutrition as a whole process. You are a big advocate of women. And you think that there is a momentum in women's sports now? Where should we take it to the future? How do you envision this?
I'd like to say that there has always been a momentum for women, as a woman. And of course it's a momentum in general, especially in the running industry. And I see it also in the MENA region and GCC, Arab Gulf region, that women are really stepping aside and saying, okay, this is our moment, because it's really our moment, right? We are always taking care of everyone, like the maternal figure, and it's our moment to reconnect with ourselves and really do what we love, but also we reconnect with who we truly are. And that's why I think it's a momentum, because we are going back to our essence of what I am doing. It's reminding me how strong I am. And it's reminding me that we talk a lot about empowerment, and for me, Sonia, it's wrong. We don't need the word empowerment for women. We are already in our power.
Okay.
And that moment of running, that moment of exercising, when you're able to see how far you can go,
how strong you are
mentally and physically, you end up a race or a running session and you say, wow, if I am able to do that, what else can stop me?
I can conquer the world.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, when I was crossing the finish line of my first marathon, it was very hard. I felt like I'm Eliud Kipchoge at least.
Yes.
So that's the feeling.
Yeah.
Great that you're saying that. Also, you enjoy solo traveling.
Yes, a lot.
And you run when you travel in the weekends. So is this thing that you recommend for people in general, for women in particular, if we were talking about the women and the momentums and so on?
Yeah.
Is it a great experience? What has it learned?
Absolutely. It has helped me a lot, as I mentioned before. When you combine both, we talked before about traveling as a therapy, of learning, a therapy of coming back completely fresh and new. But when you combine it with the sports, the combination of both is like the best, let's say, as we said, the best longevity pill ever. You step out as a solo woman, you leave everything behind, and you go back to your essence. And then you feel that travel with your own experience, physical experience. Okay, I'm going to do that. You go back home completely new, because if you ever doubt about yourself, about what you can give, about what took you there, once you have that experience, you are completely fresh and new again.
So your self-confidence is like 10 times higher when you return.
Absolutely. And it should always be like that. But we know that, because we have a lot of things we go through in our daily life, in our society. Especially I think about women who have kids and they are drained because it's the reality. We always have to be perfect, right? And it's still a taboo not to be okay and say, I am not okay. I don't know why I am crying. And we women go through a lot. And then when I think about my personal journey, the combination of solo traveling and sports has always saved me. Without taking any medical medicine, I mean, which I understand that for some people it's absolutely necessary, and I'm not against it, of course, but when I went through my divorce, when I went through my cancer, and many other episodes that are very common to our society, it has been a pure healing. The oxygen that I needed and the oxygen that has saved my life.
I wanted to ask you about your personal battles because I was reading and you are very open, and I'm grateful that you mentioned them. I'm trying to quote because I loved how you expressed the way that sport helped you getting through your cancer, through your divorce, through losing a baby. And it was like I was running when I could not speak, I was writing when I could not explain, and I was teaching when I still wanted to find that my purpose is alive. So thanks for this moment of vulnerability. This is so good, and I lost my words for the moment. Thank you.
I'm getting emotional.
I want to hug you. Let's make it a nice closure before we go to the marathon. I told you that I have a surprise for you.
Yes, you
If
did.
Alex is not here with us, you are the professional runner.
Well,
you are the professional runner. How many marathons, do you know how many marathons have you run?
So my favorite distance is half marathon.
Okay.
Usually it's once a week. I do not count them, but it's once a week. I just finished, as you know, Yerevan, and I'm coming from Bucharest. I was coming from Oslo.
So you have like 30 and 40, something like that per year, I guess.
I've never counted them, but even if it's not a proper competition, usually I tell even my friends, can we do a 21K in the desert or somewhere else?
Instead of having a drink or a barbecue, let's go and have a 21K in the desert.
Definitely, because the way, and sometimes like I was just telling like my partner yesterday, I told him, I know, because he's also my coach. So I told him, I know I need to taper down 2 days, but after 1 day, I really feel like I need my energy back.
So you are an adrenaline junkie. Good. So Alex Korneski is now, as I told you, running the Chicago Marathon. His role in the podcast is of a professional, and he's usually giving very specific technical tips for the audience. So in this case, I will let you take his role and give any practical, technical skill for the people who want to change their life and lifestyle in 2026, because this is October, and maybe they are thinking to prepare for that. Anything related to sport, change of diet, whatever you think, and it will be very helpful for people who want to do a big move with small steps maybe.
Absolutely. So, well, thank you for that. It's my honor. Thank you, Alex. I know you're in Chicago, so good luck.
Good luck, Alex.
Good luck, Alex. Yeah, and even my business partner, Rolly, he's there, so good luck. One of the first advices and tips I would give is always think, I see a lot of people saying, I need to lose weight, I need to feel healthy, or I need just to make my life better, let's say, so I will start walking or running. Always remember that let's say the activity, the physical activity, it's actually only a 15-20%. The most important part is the nutritional side. The nutritional side is not only what you eat, that's why we say we are what we eat. The nutritional side affects a lot the way we think. I've seen people, I had patients who were in depression, and just by changing their diet, they were feeling completely better. Of course, then the nutrition plus the physical activity, it's the best, the perfect and the best match. Exactly, the perfect mix. So this is the first thing they should think about. Look at what you are eating first. think about how you are feeling in your daily life, like if you feel tired after eating lunch, if you come back from work in the evening and you need to eat more because you have this anxiety. And the most important question is, am I eating because I'm hungry, or am I eating because it's lunch or dinner time?
Or I'm
I'm
stressed.
stressed, exactly. And then take it from there. The second one is when you start a physical activity, especially like running, because we are talking about running, is it's not buying the most expensive shoes or going for that brand. And you know, marketing is marketing nowadays. Is you can put any type of shoes. You don't need to have the last version of shoes or t-shirts and watch. The best watch, I always say, is your own body. Your body will guide you and will tell you how fast, how slow you can go. And it's not about going faster or going slower, because it is your body controlling you. At one point, even in my journey, when I was changing the pace, it was my body guiding me, and I found myself going like stronger, like in a more slower pace sometimes, depending. And there's a lot of factors: the weather, how you feel in that day, what you've been eating, how you've been hydrating, how long you've slept, and that's a big thing. So that's very important. Do not look for a PB, do not look for a PR. Look at how mentally that exercise, that physical activity, and how running is making you feel. So these, I would say, are the biggest tips. The third one is, whether you are running your first marathon, your first half marathon, 10K, 5K, is enjoy them. Enjoy them fully. The PB, the PR, anything else will come along the way.
Yes.
But enjoy that moment, because it is your moment. Why? Because you are celebrating yourself, you are celebrating your body, and you are celebrating that momentum.
Your effort.
So, your effort.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
This is what we are sharing between our running community. Whenever somebody wants to achieve a PR, a PB or something, and I'm telling them, you know, we cannot take Alex's place. So what's going to be that 2 seconds,
Yes.
1 minute? Anyway,
Yes.
we are not going to be up front. So let's enjoy it more than everything else. It was such a joy to have you.
My joy and my pleasure, really.
Thank you very much for everything. I'm so looking forward to have you with us on Sunday.
Yes.
If you are not following a PR on this half marathon in Bucharest, you can join us in our running group.
Absolutely.
2 hours 20. Look for the Mickey Mouse pacer with Mickey Mouse
And the
ears.
unicorn.
And the unicorn. I'll be the unicorn. I'm already prepared for that.
You'll recognize me because I'll have very colorful clothes on me. So
Great. So we will make Bucharest great again.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for having me, Raluca. It was
Thank
a pleasure.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship with Bucharest and with us.
Absolutely.
And please subscribe to our channel. Please like us. Please share. Please comment. Please be with us. Thank you.
Bye.